Okay, so I'm about to show you a video. This is who I was before psychedelics. Okay, so before psychedelics, um, and this is why I say I've come so far that I can't even explain it. That like, if I would have bettered my physical reality back then, life would be fine, but I'd be that guy and not this guy. So, let me show you. Hold on. Okay, so this is who I was, this is how I talked, and this is just who I was back then. Poppin', so it's that nigga J Hunt. Humblard is back. You know what I mean? Straight cash. We getting it poppin'. Just dropped Still the Reels Volume 2. You know what I mean? We doing our fucking thing around here. Making that moolah, you dig? You know what I mean? We in the booth right now. See what I mean? Got the booth ready. I get it. Feels me? We just get it poppin' over here. So, what the fuck, bro? Because let me tell you, that's who I was. That's the way I talked. That's how I thought. And that's all I was. And the scary thing about it is that if life went right, quote unquote, I would be financially fine, but I would be that person. And that's not fine. So this is why I say life is so fucking crazy. Because, like, if it wasn't for me doing psychedelics, getting into this whole journey, then going down the journey of research and learning philosophy and getting educated and learning how to speak better, like, it took work. Like, I've put in work to learn how to speak better, to learn how to think better, to learn how to analyze myself better. Like, it's all been a fucking journey. But let me tell you, I'm just so grateful I'm not that man anymore. That I'm this man. I'm like grown and I'm me. Back then I wasn't me. That's not me. I don't know who the fuck that is, but that is me, right? But it's not. It's me trying to be what I thought I was or what I thought I had to be. It was me faking this thing. Like I had this fake, like the way I talked was fake, right? Like I had this fake accent, like it was like I was from the fucking hood or something. And like, but that's just how I talked. And I started talking like that when I went through puberty or whatever. And I got caught into it so much that that's just how I talked everywhere. That's who I was everywhere. That's how I talked in my own head, right? Like I was that guy. And man, then from that guy, eventually that's my mom's house. And that's my bedroom in my mom's house. But then I eventually, move out my mom's house, get my own apartment, have a studio in the basement and all this. But it was that guy. And yeah, I was growing and stuff. And, I started whatever. But because as I was growing, I started getting traits of like, I had the possibility to be smart. Like, because all smart people, like, because if I played this video to somebody, you'd be like, yo, you weren't that smart. But I've had friends that I was friends with back then that I'm still friends with today that, like, they seen me grow from that to this. And, like, so, it's this weird thing where it's like, my friend tells me all the time that even back then when I was that guy, that, like, he seen that I had the potential to like to gain information because he was like we were friends, right? And he was a high honors and whatever, and we were really weird to be friends as well because like I was the bad kid. I just got locked up for armed robbery, so I just got out of placement for armed robbery right after this, and like everything was just fucked. I was fucked. But I was friends, my friend Amjad, I was friends with him back then. I'm friends with him now. And, like, he's always kept it real with me. Even back then type shit. And, like, so it's interesting that he was like, there's a reason why we were friends back then. Because, like, now we have philosophical conversations and we have debates and we love to conversate and debate and to bounce ideas back and forth. Sometimes we agree to disagree, and it's whatever. And, but it's because, shit, he's seen me go from that to this. And it's a weird thing because I even seen that I still had a little bit of that in the beginning of my psychedelic journey when I first started making videos. Like I still talked like that a little bit. I still whatever because like as I started gaining the knowledge, it's that was my personality. And this is the thing I want to like briefly mention is that when you're diving deep with psychedelics, when you're diving into this thing, just be aware that it's going to destroy your personality if your personality is not your core real self. Because like this is my core real self. This is just who I am. So it's like now there's nothing that I'm trying to be. I'm just being. Back then I was trying to be something and I was doing that so much that it became me just being. But this is a weird thing because like the thing I have now, you know, because it wasn't just the knowledge, it was the work behind making videos, watching my videos back, seeing why do I still talk like what's wrong with this? I say this word this way. Been working long and hard on how to hold a thought, right? Because it might seem whatever. People think it's some people think what I do I guess is rambling, quote unquote. But like I've put a lot of work into this. Like every single video I made that's like this, like a free flowed video, it's almost like an art form. It's a mini something, almost like a song or something, because it's taken work to learn how to have a thought and everything that's connected to that thought and everything that might not seem like it's connected to that thought but is, because in the end it's going to wrap back around and then connect to the beginning, and you're going to see why the middle connects to the this and connects to that. And and it's just the human consciousness is very complicated. It's hard to have long conversations. It's hard to think and then speak what you think out, right? A straight free flow or whatever. It takes work and it takes practice. So after practice and practice and practice and practice and getting educated and learning and just all these things, I've slowly been able to heal myself and fix myself and grow myself into the man that I've wanted to be. So many other people can't, and I would never expect them to understand fully like the whole backstory of what I'm trying to do, because you know I'm just doing me. I make these videos, I say my thing, I whatever, but I know where I came from because I came from that. So many people in the human world are worried about where they are physically, what they have physically, what they whatever. But this whole time, I had to make sure that I was the man I was meant to be mentally, because it wouldn't have mattered if because back then, I was worried about that straight cash. That's why I got straight cash tatted on my hands, because it was this gang thing I was in originally that became a rap group, basically, and like, you know, and then in the studio and had the whole rap group and shit, and shit, I remember one time selling fake crack. Like, I got locked up for armed robbery, like I said. Like, we would do anything for that straight cash, quote unquote. And if I would have kept that up, I would have got caught up in that mindset, and I would have still been that same person. And yes, maybe my life would have been good, quote unquote. And yes, maybe I would have had the cars and the jewelry and the this and the that. But I gave that up for the journey that I am on now. I gave that up for the man that I am now. Because it is a weird thing that it's almost like the devil tempted me. Where it's like, back then, it's like the devil tempted me because I could have continued that journey. And if I continued that journey, to be the gangster that's all about that straight cash, get money by any means. Yes, I would have had money. Yes, I would have stacked it up. Yes, I would have whatever. But I would have never thought about doing something legal. I would have never thought about doing or whatever. And it wouldn't, like, the world doesn't need another one of those. I realized that. So I realized what I had to do. What I had to do was do the thing that nobody else wants to do. Nobody wants to be the guy that gives that up. You want to like give up the money, give up the cars, give up this, give up that, because to go on the true real spiritual journey, it is going to require all of you. You're going to have to make so many sacrifices because Like, it's not that the spiritual people can't make money or whatever, because the next couple years of my life, I'm about to be in the best financial situation ever, right? Things are changing, things are growing, it's expanding. But I've had to endure some hard shit to get to this point, but I could have had the money, I could have had the thing before this point. But the main issue would have been I wouldn't have had me. And if I didn't have me, the people that tell me all the time that I've inspired them or I've helped them or whatever, like, some people just say, your video really helped me or whatever, like, and I really appreciate that. But like, I would have never made videos. I would have never even went on my journey if I chose, because that was a critical moment. Like, that video right there was a critical fucking moment, because that was that was so me that, like, I'm still making music. There's a reason why I don't rap, because like I stopped making music after I did Psychedelics. I stopped whatever because I had to reevaluate who the fuck is making the music, right? Because that I didn't want that guy to make the music. I wanted to make the music, like, but I wasn't here yet. I couldn't. I was locked in a cage inside of that man's fucking mind, and now I am free. And now that man is dead. He doesn't exist. And I don't know. Maybe he does. Maybe it's just now an opposite personality thing, where it's like, back then, that was the thing. That's who I was. Complete ego, complete fake thing, a false way of talking. And it's so fucking insane to me that would have been the way I talked today. I would have still been talking like that today. I would have still been talking like the fuck did I like Humblard is back. You know what I mean? Straight cash. We getting it popping. Just dropped Still the Real Volume 2. You know what I mean? We doing our fucking thing around here. Do our fucking thing around here. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck? It's fine if that's who you are, right? Like, there's a difference, because I live in upstate New York. So, like, there's a difference if you were born and raised in New York City, and like, you got an accent because you were born and raised in New York City, and that's who you are, right? But like, that's not who I was. This is who I am. And there's no way I would have became this if I played it safe, stacked up money, got the car, got the this, got the that, and whatever, because then I would have never even wanted to do spiritual shit. I would have never even why would I have wanted to dive into DMT? Why would I have wanted to dive into the research? Why would I have wanted to know about the Anunnaki or human history or who I am as a soul, as a person? I would have never, like, now I make psychedelic electronic music. I would have never even started, I wouldn't have gotten to making beats like that. I wouldn't have got into anything. Anything, every single thing I do. The 2 books I'm writing, everything I'm about to get ready to do, because people don't understand that I had the balls to be able to document the journey, the whole journey. Most people only have the balls to document the end results because they don't want to look like a fool if it doesn't work. I could never look like a fool because I've worked. It worked. It's just what other people might expect out of me might not work, but I already fucking did it. That's why this is why I say I'm already successful, because I'm not that guy. And because I'm not that guy, I am fucking successful because I did it. I did the thing that I tried to do. The thing that I couldn't explain that I was trying to do. It's that I built myself into the man I was supposed to be, because that man was not who I was supposed to be. But I got fucked up, distracted, turned around, things happened, life was fucked and whatever, and I built this protective ego thing to protect me at all means, with all means necessary, right? But now my soul protects me because I'm so me that it's so powerful just being me on its own. Like, I don't need to raise my voice. I don't need to whatever. Like, I taught myself how to debate and how to have a healthy conversation, because arguing is not good. Debating is good. But most people don't know the difference, or don't understand that you could have the same conversation talking about the same thing, having the same words, but one could be an argument, one could be a debate based on your perspective of the situation. And back then, that me thought everything was an argument. That me thought everyone was attacking me. That me thought everyone was trying to whatever, so I would, yo nigga, you know what I'm saying, my nigga, and that's ridiculous. But to me today, I'm like, if somebody points things out, I'm like, okay, well, let me hear why do they think that way? Like, that's my main thing now, is if they're saying this, there's a reason, right? And if it's more than one person saying something to me, or whether it's pointing out negative flaws or whatever, then I'd really be thinking, okay, maybe there's something that I'm fucking not seeing about myself that they see, right? And like, I just need to figure out how I can see what they see. And but yeah, so I'm just making this video to say, I don't even know what the fuck I was making this video. All I know is I was on the computer and I seen this video and I was like, yo, I gotta show them that was me. Like, that was the real me. Or that was what I would have said back then. I would have said, this is who I am. Did you dig? Yeah. But that was what the world and environment and tried to turn me into, and then I turned myself into that because I thought that's what I had to be. I thought that's what people wanted. That's what people, and it is in a sense what people wanted. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but like, it's a really weird thing, like, to see how far I have came in my mind. That my goal was my mind. That's why I had to do everything I had to do. That's why everything had to happen exactly how it happened, because everything has just been here for me to become me. Because if anything went differently, and I mean anything, there would still be a possibility that that man would be running this body. And I would not be okay with that, because I am not getting locked back in a fucking cage in the back of my mind for nothing. The ego will never control this body again. I am the soul in the body. The body, the ego, is this thing that that's why I said it might still be there. Like, I would say that that's my ego running shit with my consciousness deep down inside just fucking locked in a cage. And I would say that this is my consciousness running shit, my soul running shit, my spirit running shit, with my ego in back of my mind locked in a cage. But it's not locked in a cage because it's tamed. I got that motherfucker on a leash, right? Because I'm not scared. I'm not that weird spiritual guy, like, because I know where I came from. I came from that. So, like, I'm not scared to be like, yo, no, I disagree with this, and this is why, and yada, 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 and I'm not, whatever. And, I'm still human sometimes. I still make mistakes, but I also understand where I came from, so I'm like, shit, I ain't too hard on myself when I make a mistake anymore, because I'm like, shit, I'm way better than that guy was, so, so just, acknowledge your growth. Acknowledge how far you have come in your life. And if it seems like you haven't really came far because other people can't see you, other people don't know you, other people don't know where you come from, why you are the way you are, why you had to do what you do and what you went through, and like why you had to become what you became. But I had to become something back then just to protect this. Like, this is the craziest thing, that like I had to be that back then, because then the thing that's me right now would have died. And that's my worry, is so many people probably, like, if I would have just got stuck like that and just been like that forever, right, would this thing have died anyways on its own? Like, would it have just faded away into the false personality of who I would have thought I was, instead of choosing and building the personality that I really, like, am, I guess. Like, I don't know. Life is fucking crazy. Just acknowledge your growth. Acknowledge how far you've come. You've probably come a long way, just like I have, because, let me tell you,